Hey guys, it's Hallie. I was having a couple questions about IVF and what they should know about it. I have a couple friends who are interested, so I decided to make a video on what I've learned and what I've read or whatever. Preparing for IVF, basically you should understand the procedure that you're about to go through. It's not fun. It definitely involves a little bit of pain. And it's very demanding of your time. You should know the cost. They monitor your cycle with blood work and ultrasounds. Your spouse has to get an SA, which is a semen analysis. And the actual IVF hormone injections, stimulants, more ultrasounds and blood work, suppressants, suppositories, egg retrieval surgery, fertilization with ICSI, which is intracytoplasmic sperm injection, the implantation, which is another procedure where they go and they put the embryo inside the uterine and hope it attaches. And then from there you would continue with hormones and then finally a pregnancy test. The cost, depending on where you go, can be anywhere from $14,000 to $25,000. There's very few insurances that cover it. Sorry, dog's barking. I think the cat ran by. Yeah, but there's very few insurances that cover it. But maybe you'll have one of the lucky ones that do. Another thing, just make sure you're somewhat stable in your life. Either have a firm belief in God and the fact that He'll always provide for you no matter what, or for you and your spouse to have a very good job. What I've been told and what I've read over and over again is that the first year a child is alive costs approximately $8,000. That is if you do not breastfeed. If you do plan on breastfeeding your whole first year, you could take about $900 off. $900 off. And it only goes up from there. I did pull up a graph from last year, and it says the child's first 2 years of life is $6,400 per year. And again, it's $940 less per year if you breastfeed. Another thing my friend asked was, what to do to prepare for it, especially like weight-wise and, with polycystic ovarian syndrome, stuff like that. As far as weight goes, my doctor said one of the reasons we may not have conceived already is because of my weight, aside from other issues. But I asked him, if he wanted me to lose like 20 pounds or something between now and then. Like now would be October, and then would be probably January. That's November, December, January. It's 3 months, about 90 days. He said no. He said me being overweight, it could be a slim factor or it could be a good factor. And he was like, but he's like, it could actually cause a drastic change in your body and it could affect you negatively, making it even harder for you to get pregnant and even harder for you to carry. And then if you lose weight too fast, depending on how much weight you lose, you could throw yourself into I forget which kind it is, but a certain kind of diabetes. But he said, if you lose like a couple pounds, it's okay. He's like, but, nothing major. Like, no more than, 5 or 10 pounds within 3 months. And if you have polycystic ovarian syndrome, if you're already diagnosed with that, I'm not sure how that goes. I'm not diagnosed with it, but I do have a lot of ovarian cysts and stuff. And some of they do pop and they become very painful, and it sucks so bad. But basically, they're going to put you on a stimulant medication, which makes you produce even more cysts or, follicles that will eventually become eggs. And you don't want to have too many because you might have a lot that you can freeze and work with, but they're not going to sit there and freeze an egg if it's of poor quality. And they they can use an egg if it's poor quality, but your chances of success aren't that great with it. Like I said, you'll have to go through a monitored cycle. This means coming in on day 3, 11, and I believe 18 and 24 of your cycle. Day 3 would obviously be the 3rd day of your period, the 1st day of your period marking day 1. And you'll get blood work and ultrasounds and more done on those days. As I said before, this is before IVF, your pre-IVF process. They'll monitor a cycle then, and then after that cycle, that's when you'd start your IVF. But while you're doing your pre-IVF, have your significant other get a semen analysis just to check and make sure that everything is okay on his side. They may want to schedule a laparoscopy to see if you have any scar tissue or endometriosis. I know I had to deal with that. It wasn't that bad. 2 small incisions, one on your belly button and one 2 or 3 inches below it. They also may schedule an HSG, which is a histostereogram. cat fight. Wow, it's noisy over here, huh? 1 second. Birmingham, Alabama? No? Okay. They may schedule an HSG, which is a histostereogram, and that is to determine if your tubes are open. I found it very painful. I hated it, and I hope I never ever have to have it again. They kind of force your cervix open, and they inject like a balloon inside of your cervix, and they release the balloon. It releases some kind of ink, and they have you underneath an x-ray machine, and they can see the ink flow through your tubes to make sure they're open. It really sucked. But that's all I have for now. Hopefully I answered some of your questions. If you have anything else, please feel free to leave it as a comment, and I'll address it. If I don't know the answer, I'll be more than happy to look it up for you and post it again. But thank you very much for watching, as always. Bye! Mwah!